old asylum stood at the edge of the forest, shrouded in an oppressive fog that clung to its crumbling facade like a shroud. Locals whispered of its dark past, the madness that echoed through its empty halls, where tortured souls once roamed, lost to despair. Tonight, Chloe found herself drawn to its decaying doors, her curiosity a reckless spark igniting against her better judgment. As she stepped inside, the scent of mildew and decay enveloped her. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the distant sound of water dripping from the ceiling. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting into grotesque shapes that seemed to watch her every move. With trembling hands, she flicked on her flashlight, the beam slicing through the darkness to reveal peeling paint and rusted chairs scattered like forgotten remnants of suffering. "Is anyone there?" she called out, her voice echoing through the corridors. Only silence responded. Gradually, as the light flickered, the atmosphere grew heavier, thick with unseen eyes lurking in the corners, observing her intrusion. Chloe felt a chill creep up her spine as she ventured deeper, drawn to a large room at the end of the hallway where a rusted gurney lay amidst tattered sheets. Photos of the asylum's previous residents adorned the walls. Hollow eyes stared back at her as if caught in a perpetual state of despair. Among the faces, one stood out. A girl with hollow cheeks and tangled hair that framed her pale face, her expression one of profound sorrow. As Chloe examined the photos, a faint whisper grazed her ear, causing her to freeze. It was unintelligible, a soft lamentation carried on the draft. She swung around, convinced someone was behind her, but the room lay empty, an echo of breath in the musty air. Not wanting to succumb to fear, she stepped forward, drawn instinctively to the girl's haunting gaze in the photograph. Suddenly, her flashlight flickered violently, plunging her into darkness. Panic gripped her throat as she fumbled for her phone, its dull glow unable to penetrate the absolute black. In that moment, a warm breath brushed against her neck, and she felt a presence, overwhelming and mournful, hovering just behind her. "Stay with us," it rasped, reverberating through her very bones. Chloe whirled around, her heart racing, yet there was no one there. But the gurney now felt charged with a menacing energy. She stumbled backwards, realizing she had stepped too close to the shadows that clung to its surface. They seemed to writhe, coiling around her feet like a serpent. No longer able to bear the terror, she turned to flee, but found the only exit barred by an unseen force. As she pushed and pulled, trying desperately to escape, a soft giggle echoed through the room, now filled with hundreds of those same hollow eyes, contemplative, sorrowful, yet filled with a disturbing sense of anticipation. "Join us," they whispered in unison as the walls began to close in, the shadows stretching and grasping with purpose. With her breath quickening, her mind desperately raced back to the photo. The girl, she realized with sudden horror, had no reflection in the glass. Chloe's heart sank as her gaze fell back to the gurney, where the whispers grew louder, more insistent. She stumbled, tripping over a loose floorboard, As she fell, the room shifted around her like sand in an hourglass, pulling her toward that suffocating darkness. In her last moments of consciousness, a fleeting thought crossed her mind. She could hear her own voice mingling with the whispers, a promise of eternal company in this ashen hell. Outside, the fog thickened, and the world around the asylum continued in blissful ignorance. For those who entered rarely returned, becoming just more faces among the shadows.